The Little Princess and Her Mini Phoenix Friend. Chapter 1. The Feather That Glowed. In the middle of the royal garden, where tulips shimmered like tiny stars and butterflies danced in circles, Princess Clara was chasing sparkles. She was a little princess with a heart full of wonder and hair that shimmered like morning sunlight. Every morning, she liked to wander through the garden with her magnifying glass and her explorer's notebook, a pink journal where she wrote down all her discoveries. One day, while she was searching for rainbow bugs under the rose bushes, she spotted something strange. A single feather lay on the ground red, glowing softly like a candle flame.
"Oh, what a beautiful feather!"
Clara whispered, picking it up carefully. It felt warm in her hand, like sunshine. She placed it inside her journal and drew a big heart around it. Just as she was about to close the book, the feather wiggled. Then it sparked. And before Clara could say royal cupcakes, the feather burst into a swirl of orange and pink light. Poof! Out came the tiniest bird she had ever seen. It was no ordinary bird, it was a mini phoenix, with fiery wings that glowed like fire and eyes that twinkled like stars.
"Sheep!"
The little phoenix chirped, landing on Clara's hand. Clara gasped.
"You're alive? Oh my goodness, you're a tiny firebird."
The phoenix bowed its head politely, then sneezed a tiny spark.
"Don't worry, you won't burn anything in my garden, right?"
Clara giggled, patting it gently. The bird chirped again and formed a little heart-shaped puff of smoke. Clara laughed so hard she nearly fell over.
"I'll call you Flicker,"
she said. And from that day on, Flicker became her very first magical friend. Chapter 2. A Friend Who Glows. Flicker followed Princess Clara everywhere. He perched on her hair when she practiced curtsying, sat on her shoulder during breakfast, and even glowed softly beside her bed at night, like a living nightlight. But the best part was Flicker loved to help. When Clara couldn't reach her favorite storybook on the high shelf, Flicker fluttered up and gently nudged it down with his tiny beak. When she was sad, he drew glowing loops in the air that spelled out, "Smile." And when she was scared of the dark, Flicker's feathers shimmered with cozy light until she drifted into dreams. Still, there was something strange about her fiery friend. Every time the day ended and the moon rose high, Flicker's glow would fade. By morning, he'd be no brighter than a candle ember. One night, Clara woke up and saw him sitting quietly on her pillow, looking smaller than usual.
"Flicker, are you okay?"
she whispered. The tiny phoenix chirped weakly and tried to flap his wings, but a few red feathers fell like ashes. Clara's heart squeezed.
"Oh no, you're fading."
She wrapped him gently in a silk handkerchief.
"Don't worry, I'll find a way to help you."
Chapter 3. The Secret in the Moonlight. The next morning, Princess Clara ran to the royal library. The library was full of dusty books, glowing globes, and the scent of parchment and dreams.
"Good morning, Princess Clara. Looking for another adventure story?"
said the old librarian, Miss Petal.
"Not this time. I need a book about phoenixes. Tiny ones,"
said Clara. Miss Petal smiled knowingly and handed her a golden book titled Creatures of Light and Fire. Clara flipped through the pages until she found a picture that looked just like Flicker. It said, "Phoenixes are birds born from the sun. When their fire grows dim, they must bathe in moonlight to be reborn. Clara gasped.
That's it! He needs moonlight.
That night, she carried Flicker outside to the royal balcony. The moon was full and bright, shining like a pearl in the sky. Clara placed Flicker in a tiny crystal bowl filled with water and whispered,
Please, moonlight, help my friend.
The light touched the water, and the water began to glow. Little by little, Flicker's feathers brightened, turning from dull gold to radiant flame. Then he opened his eyes, chirped joyfully, and spun in circles around her head, leaving trails of silver sparks.
You're back! You're really back!
Clara laughed. From that day on, every full moon became Flicker's bath night. Chapter 4. The Fire Garden. As Flicker grew stronger, Clara got an idea.
Maybe we can make a special place for you, a home that glows like you do.
So she gathered golden stones, shiny pebbles, and petals that sparkled in sunlight. Together, they built a little fire garden behind the castle. Clara planted glowing flowers called sun blossoms, and Flicker warmed them each morning with tiny puffs of flame. The garden shimmered day and night, filling the air with soft, happy light. The king and queen were amazed.
My dear Clara, your garden is beautiful, but how did you make it glow?
Said the queen. Clara smiled mysteriously.
It's a secret between me and my friend.
She winked at Flicker, who twirled proudly in the air. Chapter 5. The Rainstorm Trouble. One afternoon, as Clara and Flicker were tending to their fire garden, dark clouds began to gather. Rumble! Boom!
Oh no, rain! Flicker, quick, let's go inside!
Cried Clara. But it was too late. A huge gust of wind blew across the garden, scattering petals everywhere. Rain poured down, washing the golden stones clean. Flicker flapped frantically, but the water hissed against his wings.
Flicker!
Clara shouted, running with her umbrella. She cupped him in her hands and dashed back to her room, dripping wet. Flicker's glow was fading fast. Clara bit her lip.
Think, Clara, think. What helps fire stay alive?
Then she remembered warmth and light. She quickly gathered candles and built a cozy circle of warmth on the floor. She placed Flicker in the middle, humming softly.
Don't be scared. I'm here.
The tiny phoenix twitched his wings weakly, then looked up at her, and something magical happened. A tear fell from Clara's cheek, just one, shining like a diamond. When it touched Flicker's feathers, it sizzled softly and began to glow. In a burst of light, Flicker rose from her palms brighter, stronger, and more beautiful than ever.
You did it!
Clara cheered. Flicker chirped happily, circling her like a tiny sun. Chapter 6. Lessons of Light. After that day, Princess Clara learned something very special, that caring for someone meant more than just playing or laughing. It meant helping them shine, even in their darkest moments. Flicker, too, learned to control his flame. He never burned the curtains again and even helped light candles during royal dinners. Together they became the castle's little lights of joy. Every night before bed, Clara would whisper,
Good night, my glowing friend.
and Flicker would puff a heart-shaped spark in reply. And sometimes, when the moonlight touched the garden just right, you could see a tiny phoenix dancing above the flowers, its glow mingling with the laughter of a little princess who had learned the magic of friendship. Moral of the story: true friendship shines brightest when we care for each other through light, rain, and everything in between.